Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here and taking the time to listen. We hope that as we go along, you'll gain something useful and meaningful from our presentation. So, before we start, let me introduce ourselves. I'm Aldra Di Mahina, and I'm here with.
And I am CJP
So,
Foro.
today we will be your presenter. So, but before we discuss our topic, let's have a short recap. So, last meeting, we discussed about the instruction and the demonstration, where in physical education field, it is important when teaching methods used to help students learn skill effectively. So instruction talks about when the teacher clearly explains what to do, including the step, rules, and proper techniques of an activity. Next is the demonstration is when the teacher shows how the skill is performed so students can visually understand the correct movement. Altogether, instruction and demonstration help students learn faster, perform correctly, and avoid mistakes or injuries. So last meeting, that is what we have tackled. So now, let's move on to our new topic. But before that, I want you all to ask a question. Okay? Have you ever done something, maybe a performance, a report, or even a simple task, and wondered, did I do it right? Or maybe you were waiting for someone to tell you how you did, but no one said anything. So I want you all first to reflect about that question, and I want you all to comment your answer in our comment section. So I'll give you some time to think. Okay. So this situation is very common. Sometimes we don't know if we are improving or making mistakes because no one tells us. And that is where feedback comes to important. It helps us understand our performance and guides us to improve. So now, let's talk about our topic, the providing feedback. But before that, I want you all to read silently our learning objectives. At the end of the session, the student should be able to go. That's discussion. Recognize the action. Okay, thank you. Now, first, I want you all to reflect with this quote. We see the world not as it is, but as we are. So, the meaning of this quote is that it reminds us that we all have different perspective. That's why feedback is important because it helps us see things that we might not notice on our own. So, so that is the feedback. But first, let me read what is the definition of feedback. Feedback is defined as any response related to information acquired during or following the execution of movement or skill. There are two types of feedback, and these are known as sensory and augmented feedback. So, feedback is the information we receive during or after doing a task. It tells us if we are doing well or if we need if we need to improve. And as it said that there are two types of feedback. First, we have the sensory feedback and the augmented feedback. So the sensory feedback is have also sections which talks about proprios, pre, proprioceptive feedback. And next, in the augmented feedback naman, we have the verbal and non-verbal feedback. So let's talk about the sensory feedback. Sensory feedback refers to information obtained immediately by the performer through or her diverse sensory system. These may include what the performer feels or sees, hears, and smells or tastes. Just the first time or just the first three are usually significant in motor skills. This sort of feedback is also known as the intrinsic feedback because it is inherent in the performer's own actions. So it means that sensory feedback comes from our own body and senses while performing a task. Gets? Okay. So this includes what we feel, see, or hear. So it is also called intrinsic feedback because it is naturally comes from within us. Okay. Next, we have the okay. Sensory feedback can further be divided into proprioceptive feedback and exteroceptive feedback. So the pro proprioceptive feedback refers to all sensory information about the performer's body, such as the feel of a movement informed by proprioceptors, includes muscles, spineless, joint, and Golgi tendon stored organs. And and the exteroceptive feedback naman composes all information about the external world provided by the performer's visual, auditory, and sensory system. So the sensory feedback has two types. We have the first, the perceptive that talks about inner, and the expropriative feedback is external. Okay. Next, we have the augmented feedback. Let's talk about it. The second broad category under which feedback is classified is information. It is about an action delivered by a source other than the actor. This can include data provided by an observer, example, instructor, coach, trainer, and therapist, and etc. A video record of a performance, a graph, or a computer generated description or depiction of some aspect of the performer frequently used in research. So, it talks about that augmented feedback comes from external sources like teachers, coaches, or even videos. So, the verbal feedback and the nonverbal feedback are related to augmented feedback. So the verbal augmented feedback refers to all information supplied verbally. Another person, for example, a coach. So that's like what I have said. A verbal augmented feedback comes from coach, your trainer, or your coach. And for example, the same coach shows the athlete his or her dash time on stopwatch used to time the run. That is the verbal augmented feedback. Next, we have the nonverbal augmented feedback. It is supplied in a form other than the information offered, such as videotape, replays, performance graphs. So some other coaches and trainer, as you can see also in uh, professional players, they showing or they watching some plays and they're reviewing some information, small details that would help them improve and also to perform well while playing. So as you can see, LeBron James watching some um, plays, previous games, what he can improve to herself. So that is the non-verbal augmented feedback. So overall feedback, verbal feedback is spoken, while non-verbal feedback can be shown through actions, videos, or visual data. Ayan. So next, let's talk about the strategies for giving effective feedback. I know it is easy for us to say or it is easy for us to deliver a feedback. But have you ever asked yourself, do we give a right feedback? Do we give a correct feedback to our students or even to our friends? Like have you ever wondered na okay lang ba ihambal ko ni sa iya in a way, or we should what approach we should use when giving a feedback? So we have here four, which are the sandwich method: start, stop, continue, two star, and a wish, and ask before a tell. So the sandwich method. Now let's talk about the sandwich method. Technical difficulties, or should I say ano ba, technical issues. Sorry for that. So let's now continue our discussion. We ended up our strategies for giving feedback. So we have four strategies, which are the sandwich method, the start, stop, continue, two, two stars, and a wish, and ask before a tell. So first, we have the sandwich method. This method is called sandwich because the feedback is structured like a sandwich. First, you start with something positive. Okay? Like, I like your form. Then give the correction. But your follow through is not that good. Or should I say, the correction, like you positive and then correction, or you what is the mistake or you need to improve, and again with something positive. So again, positive, correction, and positive. So let's say for an example, I like your shooting form, but as I can see your follow through, you need to correct that. But overall, it you have a good potential. Nah, that is the sandwich method. Next, we have the start, stop, continue. This strategy focuses on three things: what the person should start doing, and what they should stop doing, and what they should continue doing. It is simple and direct. So the learner clearly knows what actions to improve. No? First, you need to tell the person what should start doing, and next, what should stop doing, and next, lastly, what should continue doing. So first, kunyari, I'll be the coach. Okay, okay, this is what you should start doing. You should start dribbling fast. No, you should start dribbling fast. Now, this is what you should stop doing. Don't look at the ball. Look at your opponent. Next is what you should continue doing. What you should continue doing is to move with the ball along. I like the way you move with the ball. It is just normal, no? So that is the start, stop, and continue method. Gets? Next, we have the 2 stars and a wish. In this strategy, you give 2 positive comments, which are the stars, and 1 suggestions for improvement, which is wish. So this keeps the feedback balanced and encouraging, but still helpful. So you should start siguro, I like the timbre, or I like the quality of your voice. No? It's like Juan Carlos. But I guess you should stop, or you should improve, or you should remove a little bit of kulot in the way you sing. No, so that is the 2 star and a wish. Okay, next we have the ask before a tell. Ask before tell. This strategy means asking learner first about their performance before giving your feedback. For example, you can ask, what do you think you did well? No, mga like Sir Ellie na type of feedback. Um, are you satisfied with your performance? Performance. Yan. These help the learners reflect and become more aware of their own performance before receiving a feedback. So, first, you should ask muna to your athlete. Sige, kunyari, ng si Roxanne, no? Like ano si Roxanne ba? Like nag-gym na si Roxanne, tapos magsabi ka, are you satisfied with that? Uy. And then when she responds, that is where you give your feedback, no? To help your learner reflect and become more aware of their own performance. No? It's balance. Ayan. Next, let's talk, if there's no question strategies for giving feedback, you can put questions in the comment and we'll answer it. No? Next, the we have here. So I want you all to read it with me. A classmate keeps performing a dance step incorrectly during practice. He repeats the same mistakes every time because nobody tells him what part needs fixing. What do you think will happen if no one points out the mistake? No, I want you all to comment down below your answer. But for me, if no one corrects the mistakes, the person will keep repeating it. That shows, or this shows that feedback is necessary for improvement. No, you can't just leave him or her with mistakes. We need to change and we need to give feedback for him to grow and to improve. Next, let's talk about the function of feedback. As what I have said, feedback reinforces correct performance. Feedback allows error, detention, and correction. Feedbacks Feedback motivates and guides learners. No, it would help them holistic. Ayan, in short. Next, we have the theories of feedback. I'll give the floor to Mr. CJ Foro to explain the different theories of feedback. Mr. Foro, ikaw na po.
Okay, once again, good evening, class. So today we're going to discuss the theories of feedback. So in the theories of feedback, there are seven theories in feedback. So the first theory is the cognitive-based theory. So okay, once again, good evening, class. So also we're going to discuss the theories of feedback. So but before we're going to discuss, did you know that the theories of feedback has a seven types of theories? So the first theory of feedback is the cognitive-based theory. So what is the cognitive-based theory? So it is cognitive-based theory is a feedback helps store information in long-term memory and improves learning. Also, it supports attention and problem-solving skills of the learner. Also, this theory explains that learning happens through thinking, memory, and problem solving. Also, this learners to process information and correct mistakes. So one of the example of this theory is, for example, a student learns how to shoot a ball better after the teacher explained what went wrong. Understood? Okay. So next we have the dynamical system theory. So dynamical systems theory, learning happens through interaction with the environment and self-discovery. Feedback increases exploration and self-discovery in learning skills. Also, this theory, learning happens through interaction with the environment and also it is also self-discovery. So one of the example of this is a learner improves dancing by trying different movements, and the learner adjusting based on on feedback in terms of the coach, the trainer, or maybe the members. Okay. Next, we have the closed loop theory. So, what is closed loop theory? So, it is a feedback is used for error detection and correction while performing a skill. Also, this theory, learning improves through continuous comparison of action versus correct performance. So, one of the example of this is while driving, you adjust the steering of wheel based on what you see on the road. Okay, understood, class? Okay, very good. Next, we have the behavioral theory. So, what is behavioral theory? So, this theory learning happens through reinforcement or rewards and corrections. So, based on Thorndike's law of effect, frequent feedback reinforces correct behavior. Also, this theory, learning happens through um, reinforcement or what I said earlier, rewards or the corrections of a coach, trainer, or something that we can um, get on what we have performed or react. Also, the one example of this theory is a teacher praises correct performance or and encouraging the student to repeat it. And also, the other example is like, for example, you uh, you win the game in a basketball game, and your coach give you a reward or something that can feel you make happy or something that you can um, express your subs that towards your coach or a teammates. So next we have the um, next 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 Mr. May Nice. Okay, so I, next now back. Okay, also we have the feedback frequency theory. So what is feedback frequency theory? So it reduced feedback frequency can improve learning more than constant feedback. It reduces feedback with frequency can improve learning more than constant feedback. Also, this theory it can um, it can be too much feedback and make learners dependent on it. Also, one of the example of this theory is if a coach gives feedback every time that the player may rely on it too much. Okay, next we have the self-controlled feedback theory. So, this theory, the learners request feedback based on their needs and performance. Also, learners receive feedback only when they ask for it. Also, one of the example of this theory is a student ask the teacher for help only when unsure. For example, you are in a game, then you come up with the idea that you have unsure with your idea. So you as a player, you can go to your coach or a trainer to give feedback to what can you improve during the game or what can you be more tactics that you can do in a game. Understood? Okay, very good. So next, so next, yes, the other one. So why feedback is essential? So feedback is essential because it helps people understand what they're doing well, what they need to improve, and how to grow. It guides learning, builds confidence, and supports better performance. Okay. So I have a question here. So how do we give feedback the right way? So we can give feedback the right way when we are done with our performance or other types of um, what we do. Yeah. Next.
Excuse lang, no. This is just actually a technical ano na naman no mistakes because as we have said that the give or the effective feedback, as we have discussed, the four strategies and approach we should use upon giving a feedback. So I'm really sorry for the mistake. Next slide, Mr. Foro.
So, creating a feedback friendly environment. So, a healthy feedback culture begins with a safety and openness. Leaders must welcome input without defensiveness and ensure feedback is focused on action, not personalities. Also, regular check-ins, surveys, and informal conversations can build comfort with feedback. Understood, class? Okay, very good. Next. So, encouraging feedback as a habit. Also, great leader asks for feedback regularly and act on it. This models humility and commitment to self-improvement. When feedback becomes routine, it feels less risky and more valuable for everyone involved. So, for the summary of our topic for today, so feedback is a leadership tool that improves performance. It deepens relationships and accelerates growth. By giving and receiving feedback effectively, leaders show they care of progress, not perfection. So, also, feedback is important for us or for other performer or a player because without feedback, we cannot correct the performance, our performance or our what performance or they or they can give ideas to our performance on what to improve, on what to change, and also what to um we going to improve more in our performance or in a physical activity.
Yes, that is right. So also I would like to give a summary of our topic, which talks about feedback. That is actually correct, Mr. Foro, that feedback is really essential for us, especially for us BPED students and future educate. We are future educators, future teachers, future coaches, and trainer. So trainer, no. So it would help our students or athlete to understand their performance, correct their mistakes, and improve their skills. So in BPED, feedback is not just about pointing out errors, but also encouraging students and building their confidence. So remember, effective feedback should be clear, specific, timely, and constructive. So as a future PE teacher, we should deliver feedback in a way that is respectful and supportive. So students stay motivated and continue to enjoy physical activity. No, Mr. Foron, are you here with me? Ayan.
Yes, that's
So
right, Mr.
so
Mena.
to formally end this session, I want you all to remember that feedback is not meant to judge, but to guide. Because through the right feedback, every student has the chance to improve and succeed. Again, I'm Aldred D. Mahinay,
And I am CJ Piforo,
and we are your presenters. So
reporter
thank
for
you
this
for
TV.
listening. Ayan.
Yes.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Hmm.